Okay. Okay, I'm warning you. This video live feed is not for everybody. This is probably going to be really, really boring. But if you're one of those people who are really, truly serious about getting some MuMetal so you can build some really nice, sweet stators, then these are the ticket. I looked this stuff up online here a couple of weeks ago. A sheet about this size is 35 to 38 bucks. That's crazy. This stuff is not cheap. So I accidentally discovered that these VCRs have sheets of MuMetal. Now, not all of the VCRs, especially the cheaper ones, they don't have sheets of MuMetal in them. But the nicer, bigger VCRs that have a little bit more beefy, yes, they have these in one case. had two different sheets in the same VCR. These are used to protect the electronics. In the last VCR I took apart, they had a box made out of MuMetal. It was about, I don't know, about 2.5 inches by 2 inches tall by about a half inch wide. And it was perfect. It was a box already made for me. I didn't have to make it. Just had electronic parts in it, electronics. So anyway, so I put out an advertisement for anybody in the area where I live. If they have any VCRs they want to donate that are not working. And people are responding, so I'm starting to get quite a few of these now. So I just thought, while I'm doing this, I just broadcast this live. It's nothing exciting to watch, but it'll help you as a viewer, whether you're watching live now or at a later date, to see if this is worth pursuing. So, now what I'm thinking here is that this VCR, it's a TV VCR. Let me go back up again. This is the old-fashioned analog TV. Glass tube. So, VCR's down here. So I'm thinking there's probably a metal plate right here. It's going to be right here, if I'm right. There might be another one down below. So I consider this very valuable right now, but we'll see if I'm right. Okay, so the whole thing is here is that these have a capacitor. For those of you who don't know what a capacitor is, it's like a battery that you use in a flashlight, except capacitors give off all of their charge all at once. It will shock the crap out of you. And if it's big enough, it can nearly kill you, if not kill you. So when you take these apart, you do so at your own risk. It even tells you here on the back. And so what you have to do is discharge the capacitor. The first thing I did was I shorted out the plug. I've already done this. I shorted out the plug, and then I turned the mechanical switch on and off, the actual button that says on and off. So when I did that, it helped discharge any electrical capacitance within the unit. I'm sure there's probably more in there, but we'll find out, because when I discharge it, it'll make a zap sound. And once I do that, then I'll be okay. So, alrighty. So let the fun begin here. Now hopefully I didn't check. I didn't think to do so until now. Some of these TVs have hexagon screws. I have the right tools, but I don't think I have them upstairs here. Let's see here. Now what I do is I save every little screw, every little part. You never know. Yeah, I can't see very well. Let's see here. Yeah, there's no screw in that one. Okay. Those are not screw holes. That's where you put it in those long plastic octagon screwdrivers to make adjustments to the TV that the technician uses. Okay. I haven't even looked at this TV at all since I got it, so I haven't done any preliminary, research on how to take this apart, so here we go. This should split into two pieces. Should be only 4 of these. Again, the way some of these are put together is only 2. And it hinges from the top of the TV. So these might be the only 2 screws I need to take out. Remember now, don't forget to discharge this if you decide to open up one of these guys. Otherwise you can get a very nasty shock long after it's been unplugged. There we go. Okay. Nope, it's going to make me take out 2 more screws. Okay, these should be the last 2. If you're just joining us, the point of this is to get sheets of MuMetal to build the stators. By the way, I've done some more preliminary testing, and there's some things I've not shared online with anybody. I haven't posted the information, but ultimately the way this may very well need to work based upon actual testing, there seems to be this strange or odd magnetic circle that is created. Think in terms of like electricity, a short. And so you create this magnetic short, if you will. I don't know any other way to explain it. When I discovered this magnetic short is when I put magnets all the way around the wheel. The wheel suddenly no longer worked. When I took about 1/3 of the magnets away and created a gap, the wheel started turning again. Well, I'm thinking probably the way to get around that problem, if it continues to be a problem, because I know another way to do this, which is going to be the better way to do it, may have to take stator number 1, stator number 2, stator 3, and stator 4, and put them all on separate planes. That means there'll be not 1 bicycle wheel involved, there'll be 4 bicycle wheels involved. And rather than using bicycle wheels, I'll just get a large cylinder. Okay. And that will end the problem with the magnetic circle, magnetic short. Again, it's not a very good term, but it's the only term I can think of. It's a short the magnetic field. Because people all the time would post, why don't you put magnets all the way around it? I keep telling people, been there, done that. Okay. See any more screws holding this together. Wait a minute, maybe I do. I don't think that screw's doing it, but I'll take it out. Sometimes these screws are actually just holding something on the other side. It has nothing to do with the assembly of the casement. But okay. The moment we pop this open, we'll know if we have any nice big sheets of MuMetal. I need at least 5 or 6, excuse me, I need at least 5 or 6 more sheets. There we go. For some reason, not letting go up front. No screws left to unscrew. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, there we go. Now when you're doing this, I didn't think to tell you all anything in advance, but you want to make sure you don't accidentally crack or break this piece right here, because then you'll have the potential of an implosion followed by an explosion. But I think all would happen is that the gas, the air would suddenly suck in and then kind of pop back, and I don't think we'd have a real explosion. But if you crack the main body of that tube, it will implode and then explode. That's a small tube, so I've thrown a few of them in the junkyard and broken them open on purpose. Only the bigger tubes really give you a good explosion or implosion. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're cooking. Okay, I don't see any metal plates. Okay, what they've done here, here's the MuMetal right here. Instead of giving us one big plate, they've created a box to house everything in here. But that's your MuMetal right there. That's quite a bit. Let's see if it goes underneath here. That's okay. Well, it's a pretty good size sheet. Looks like I can take it right off. Actually, here, just do this. God, that screw doesn't want to come out. That's ridiculous. I have to get a semi-flathead Phillips screwdriver. I don't know if I have one here on me right here. Let me go to my shop and grab a couple of additional screwdrivers. I'll be right back. Give me about 2 minutes. some Phillips heads have a flat point. I don't know if you can see that or not. So I needed one with a flat point. Spirit Crossman says, just take the PC board off the end of the... Yeah, your message just disappeared. Couldn't read it in time. I don't know why the message doesn't stay there. Anyway, this whole thing will slide out here. Oh, it's ready to slide out now. Cool. Okay, wait a minute. I gotta find the capacitor before I get the heck out, before I get the futs shocked out of me. I'll see where the capacitor is. Come on. I've never seen a TV without a capacitor. I don't see one unless it's right in here. Yeah, there it is. I found it. And no easy way for me to short that out. Let me just unplug it. Things in there tight. There we go. Oh, I just took off the cap. Looks like it might be soldered. Okay. Let me pull the PC board out. I should be okay. Okay. Who's got a hold of it? Oh, speaker. And just like that, let me get this out of the way. Now we got another VCR here too as well. Ooh, I see a nice plate. All right. I don't see anything else on this that's worth anything. Though it looks like right here, we got some more MuMetal right there. Little piece, be used for patchwork. Okay. Now let's see what we got here. Yeah, I don't know how much there's a lot of copper. I'm not sure, Frederick, what you consider a lot of copper. But I guess, you know, when you're tearing apart 20 or 30 of these, yeah, it's going to add up. The only way to really get to the copper, the metal, is just throw the whole freaking thing into a melting pot of some kind and let the whole thing melt down, and plastics and stuff will burn off. Why isn't this coming off? Oh, there we go. Okay. The color suggests that this is MuMetal. Seems like it might be a little bit higher quality than normal. a little bit more greater purity, I guess I should say. A higher grade. Let me see here. Okay, so it does stick to it, so it is magnetic. But anyway, oh, I know what to do here. Let's see here. Real simple way to test this. What I've done here is I put some spacers right here, as you can see, and then see if anything wants to stick to it. Here's a screw. Here's a screw. You see that? Okay. Yeah, I can feel it pulling towards it. So this may not be MuMetal at all. Yeah, I don't think it is. I don't believe that's MuMetal whatsoever. It's just an odd color metal. Okay, so and who knows? The manufacturer cheaped out there. This may not be MuMetal either. I'm not sure if I could tell you I know what MuMetal sounds like, but if I know better, the sound of that metal just sounds like everyday old metal. I don't know if MuMetal sounds different or not. Now, one of the parts I'm looking forward to out of this thing is, there are all these videos on YouTube that I suspect, most of us suspect, are fake. And that's where one motor runs another motor. And these are typically very small motors running another small motor. And I'm going to find out if it's fake or not. The reason I always suspect they're fake is because nobody ever talks in those videos. They're always slick videos, and they're always monetized. Okay. Now, the question is, will it be a double bust? Let's try this again. Okay. Here's a spacer. Dang. Okay. Let it magnet on there. Okay. Aha, it is MuMetal. Lucked out. There's a little bit of attraction, just a tiny, tiny little bit, but not much. Okay, so this is the real deal. It's not a very big sheet. I've learned that you can actually patch this stuff, side by side if you overlap it. So you don't have to have large sheets of it. If you have a whole bunch of small sheets, that will work as well. Okay, so more MuMetal. Okay. And then get this motor off of this thing here. Now, all these parts, everything, be sure to save your belts. If you're going to fool around with other ideas, keep all of your pulleys. Anything and everything is related to motors. Electric motors, that is. Oh, look, a MuMetal box. Here you go. There's another one right here. Right there. But that looks too small to use. Let me see here. This magnet here. Yeah, a magnet won't fit inside that. But still. Okay. Now these motor brackets too are important. If they're not too much trouble to salvage, I usually try to salvage the motor brackets. Okay. Okay, this wiring goes way down in here. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now, as I explained last week, or however many days ago it was, the whole point of this is that when electric motor spins, as you all know, most of you all know anyway, that when we spin this, see how that feels? That feels really nice. I don't feel any cogging though. The other motor I felt cogging, so when we spin this, it puts out electricity. It comes out the two wires here that you can't really make out what's going on here. Yeah, you can. There you can see the two wires. Anyway, so I'm going to hook up the pulley on this one to, I'm going to get off with it. Now, there's so much junk here I can't see what's going on, but the other electric motor, I'm going to hook up the two pulleys together. So we'll put a belt around that pulley, and then put another motor here, and put them in tandem, wire them up in parallel. I'm probably going to have to put a crystal diode on the circuit, so the electricity will only flow in one direction. And we'll see if there's any truth to this. I don't believe there is. I think it's all fake that we see online. Okay. As far as anything, oh, here we go. Is this anymore? What I'll do here is I'll continue to strip this down at a later date this evening. I like to just dive into the other VCR. The main point of this is to show you all what we can find in these things that's useful. I don't think this is going to be MuMetal. Or in layman's terms, I don't think it's going to be magnetic shielding. I thought I just good old-fashioned tin, which actually works very well for shielding. I'll test it for what it's worth. Nah, it has no magnetic shielding properties. Okay, so, and then what I also do here is that, not while we're doing this live, but at a later time, you also want to strip the heads. These heads are great. You see a lot of people using tape heads to create magnetic motors out of, which are probably also fake for all we know. And now I know why this machine was supposedly broken. This machine was not broken, apparently. I was told it was broken. It doesn't matter. It's getting taken apart one way or the other. But it turns out it wasn't broken. They said it no longer worked. The reason it no longer worked is real simple. Tape broke off and it wrapped around the head and jammed, and it wouldn't play properly anymore. So anyway. Okay. So I guess we're finished with this for right now. Not sure what's going on there. I think that's just, it feels like aluminum. Sounds like aluminum. Okay, let's toss this aside for now. These are these really cheap VCRs. I mean, they're so light, they feel like there's nothing in them, which I believe is telling me there's not going to be any plates in it, but there'll be a box in it. Okay. Looks like no screws are required. Now, I've never found any nasty capacitors in VCR machines. So it's not something to worry about, only with TVs. Well, it's not coming off. Ha ha ha. Okay. See what we got here. I don't see any plates, like I said. Here you go. Another MU box. And that's plenty big to get a magnet inside there. Now, when I'm breaking this stuff up, I'm closing my eyes. But anybody else doing this, you might want to, actually get some goggles to do this. Okay. I bet you that sounds awful on the other end. Okay. Well, there's a plate hidden underneath there. I don't think there is, though. Again, these things are wonderful right here for making these experimental motors, because these just move so freely. Okay. Well, again, here we go. More pulleys. I don't know if you can see that or not. Get this light around. There you go, see it? Oh wow, that's not going to come out of there easily. It's really hooked underneath there. There are also pulleys down in here, pulley wheels, I guess I should say. And so you want to make sure that you grab those as well. Looks like we have a little step-up transformer in there. Yeah. Well, that pretty much concludes everything. There's nothing exciting going on in any of these VCRs. But it gives you an idea, what's going on here. Like I said, just put out an ad for your area, asking, just tell people you're just doing a project that, to say a science project, and that you need a bunch of dead, broken down VCRs to be donated within 24 hours or so, I started getting responses. I've got more VCRs I got to pick up. Most people never bothered to throw away their VCRs when they broke down. And a lot of other people did. And then the Goodwill, you don't see them anymore. At least not where I'm at. Remember to keep all your screws, collect all your screws. These are great brackets because you never know when you want to maybe mount a stator right here, and you could bend this accordingly or put this on some kind of blocks on either side, or long cylinder plastic collars to get this up high enough to mount a stator. So all these parts are wonderful. Don't throw them out. If you take apart 10, 15 VCRs, you'll start to have a collection of identical parts. So in my particular case, I need pairs of 4. So, well, when it hits the top of the hour, I'm going to sign off here and go grab myself something to drink other than water. Whew. In case I can get this motor out of here. Oh, great. Now, I don't have one here, but one of the things that's needed sometimes is an offset screwdriver, just like an Allen wrench. In this case, I need an offset Phillips screwdriver because I can't get this in there. So what I'll do is I'll just break this apart. Ooh, let's break this guy apart. Good thing I had my eyes shut on that one. Okay, now I can get the motor out of there. Oh, it's going to take a fine point Phillips. You'll need some fine tip Phillips screwdrivers to take some of this stuff apart. Here we go. You know, I'm thinking when you see those videos that most of us believe are fake, where one motor, or one tiny little electric motor, somehow is supposed to be powering the other motor next to it. I wonder what would happen if we took 2 motors and then took the 2 motors, hooked them in parallel series and not series, and used the parallel series of 2 motors, the electricity from those 2 in parallel, to power the other one in series. I wonder if the combined electricity from the 2 would be enough power to truly and legitimately make the other motor run. I've never seen a video where they actually use 3 motors. Also, when you're cutting these, try to cut the wire as long as possible. Just a good rule of thumb. Okay. And let's see, how's this feel? Oh, that feels really nice. Again, if you're just joining us here, just when you spin the motor, a little bit of electricity comes out the 2 wires here. If you look carefully, you should be able to see 2 wires in there. You can faintly see them where they would be. Kind of looks like seams in this flat wire. But and then the electricity comes out of this, you use in turn to power another motor, another one of the same size. What I'm thinking here is get one that's a little bit bigger to power the one that's a little bit smaller. Again, when we see these videos, they're just, for all I know, they're fake. So I'm going to find out if there's any truth to them. Okay, I guess that's it here. I'm getting pretty close to the top of the hour, and This is long enough. Let's see here. I've caught them further along on the new construction of the beta, what do you call it, prototype for the to show and prove to you that what you've been seeing in the past videos is not fake. I don't fake any of my videos. Any glitches you see or what you all call edits are actually glitches in the upload, or use my old phone. I'm now using an Apple phone, and so far it's been glitch free. And I haven't detected any glitches in the upload. Now on a live upload, there's nothing I can do if there's a glitch on the live upload. But, okay, I guess that's it. We have a nice wheel here to, of course, commandeer. And we have a nice MuMetal box. These are always MuMetal. And if you notice here with the tape measure, this MuMetal box is more than big enough to house a 2-inch magnet. There's plenty of room. And it's basically looks to be a 1/2 inch thick. So that leaves a 1/4 inch room on either side of the magnet for spacers. So this will work out really nicely. Okay, well that's it. Whoever hung in there with me all this time, appreciate it for what it's worth. You must have been real bored tonight to hang in here with me this long. There's 2 of you here still left. But anyway, I guess that's it. I'm going to go relax and then tear these down further tomorrow. It's late here. It's almost 10 o'clock here on the East Coast, as you can see here. So, I just want to relax. You have several VCRs here as well, and lots of RAM wheel 28. I'd like to know if this is correct. This measures, your thing is disappearing. How do I get it to come back? Hang on a second here. Oh, there's your comment. It came back. Okay. Edner says you have several VCRs and you've got a 28-inch rim. Oh, cool. And let's see here. And you would like to know, I think you've disappeared here. Okay, it came back again. I'd like to know if this is correct, this measure. If you have, can pass me that measurement in inches. Thanks. Measurements on what? The wheel? I think the wheel is 28 inches. Let me go check. If that's what you want to know. Let me go check. It's a it comes off a English bicycle. Okay, it's a 24-inch rim. It's 24 inches, and it's 1 inch wide. I couldn't remember what it was. The smaller the wheel that you work with, you're going to run into leverage problems and torque issues. The wider wheels, which I'm working with, is 24 inches, a couple feet across. I don't know what that is in millimeters. I'm old school. But the larger wheels, the magnets can turn it a lot easier. But if we get involved in a cylindrical tube, and the tube's only maybe 12 inches or 16 inches, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Soon here, I'm not sure when that will be, but I want to show you all the final part that I have not shared online yet. I've talked about it in passing, but I've never made any videos about it. And once you see how it works, it only will make sense. Earlier in this video I talked about a magnetic short, because when I put magnets all the way around the wheel no longer wants to turn. But when I take some of the magnets away and create a gap of at least 7 inches or more, the wheel automatically wants to turn again. Put all the magnets back on the wheel doesn't stop. Sorry, Edna, that you don't speak English. Sorry. Um, okay. Here, let me show you. Wheel. Wheel was, yeah, unbalanced is the key. Edna, 24 inches. 24 inches, Edna. Sorry you're having trouble understanding English. And I'm the worst person to listen to because I don't believe I speak real clear English. It's just something about my accent that I picked up from watching one too many westerns. I grew up on TV watching movies. People ask me, where did you get your accent from? I go, all over the country. They go, what do you mean? I watch movies from all over the country. So as a kid, I guess I picked up accents from various actors and actresses. Okay, so yeah, unbalance is the key. Here's the thing. Not only are you right on about that, you have to remember Newton's law, third law, Isaac Newton, third law of motion says for every action, there's equal and opposite reaction. If that was the case, and I could not beat that, overcome that third law of attraction, then I would never, ever be able to get a magnet motor to work. Nobody would. Because the counter pull would be the same as the push, the pull, and then the push, and then the counter pull again. These magnet motors wouldn't stand a chance. So the stators I've designed, which is here's one right here, overcomes that. So I've created an imbalance in the system. If you only create an imbalance of 49-51, it's enough. But it's so close, it doesn't really help much. My imbalance is at least 60-40. I think it's higher. So we've got 60% pull of attraction. Yes, 24 inches. Yes, 24 inches, Edna. It's 60% pull, and then when it comes out the other side, we only have a 40% counter pull, which means we have what? A 20% gain. James, I did some videos of your research. Hi, Sterling. And yeah, and what did you come up with? Virtu on James, Roney and his contoured magnetic shield. Yeah, there's something to be said about the contoured magnetic shielding. That's a whole nother ball of wax. I was an accidental discovery. But I've learned the best way for right now, think in terms of an airplane at an airport. The runway is not curved. The runway is flat for that airplane. And so when you have, let's see, I'm going to grab a magnet here. When you have a curved stator, then that means the magnet's going to hang longer. It's going to stay in the field longer. I came up with 1 watt. Oh, cool. So, but like a plane and a runway, when the plane takes off, it quickly gets away from the runway. So with my stators, this is the open face. This is where there's no shielding at all. So as this magnet approaches, see if I can do this so you can see this right. As this magnet approaches, it's full force, magnet to magnet attraction. But as it passes over and up and away, like an airplane on a runway taking off from the runway strip, it pulls away from this back field and this metal right here as quickly as possible, which helps to make it so we have minimal cancellation, minimal counter attraction. So it helps me to maintain the 60-40 imbalance. So now there are other motors out there that are not doing that. I'm not sure if they're fake or how they work, but I've not seen one video today, none, still, that anybody ever actually breaks down exactly how those motors work. I can't find a video on it, which leads me to believe it's just one perpetual scam going on out there everybody's capitalizing on, because they monetize all those videos. I think every million views, you make $6,000. Yours is based on my work. Awesome, Sterling. Well, I don't know of any other way to do this, Sterling. I just don't. The shielding makes sense. It kind of sets up the equivalency of a one-way, or what do you call it, a a one-pole magnet. Of course, there's no such thing, even though they like to make you believe that on the web. But basically what's happening here is that there's no magnetic pull, counterpull on the back side. This is dead. Here, let me show you. Well, you've seen in my other videos. I don't need to repeat this, but let me show you here. See this right here? I'm going to just let go of the screw and watch what happens. Okay. Yet if I turn this around the other side and let go of the screw, watch what happens. It gets sucked in. You can see the magnet right there. You see? See, Sterling? You can see the magnet right there. But even though the other magnet's right, the edge of that magnet's right about there. It's about, what, ½ inch away? And yet, there's no attraction. The screw just falls. Anyway, it may turn out that having no attraction of all that shielding on the back may not be as important as I thought it was. And the reason being is real simple. But it can't hurt, and that's because the magnets are lifting. No, I have no batteries in there. I've gotten away with the batteries. I've done away with it. Sterling, the only reason I used the batteries was because I was desperate. So you don't have to use any batteries anymore. I just used that out of desperation. There's no batteries in this one. If you just do your shielding right, and you understand they have to have a 1/4 inch spacing around your shielding, you'll be just fine. I get it, I really do, and I did all the same settings. Okay, yeah, cool. So, but the real magic is going to be using the right configurations of magnets on the wheel itself. 100 gram magnets, newtons, 1 newton, 2 seconds, and joule, 3 joule, 1 second is 1 watt. Interesting. I have to take your word for it on the formula. I don't really know for certain. So you might know a lot better than I would. I'm not a mathematician, for starters. Never claimed to be. But the real breakthrough after I did the shields was the magnet's configuration. The magnet configuration on the wheel was night and day. When I had the magnets, Sterling, about 2 inches apart, the wheel started running. But when I pushed the magnets together within 1 inch apart, the wheel went twice as fast. And then I said, well, this is interesting. So I got electrical tape, and I pushed all the magnets on the wheel as tight as I could together, which is really hard to do. And then you use electrical tape and tape them in place. And then tried that. Oh my gosh, the wheel started to take off. It was fast. So as the last armature magnet leaves the stator, the lead armature magnet needs to be approaching the next stator. Yes, I can see this. Okay. Well, you can write to me. Let's see if I can get your message to come back. Can't get your message. There we go. Ednor, which you said you don't understand English very well. Free magnetic energy 2 at gmail.com. Free magnetic energy 2 at gmail.com. That's number 2. Free magnetic energy 2 at gmail.com. I see your email address, but I don't know after the fact if your email address is still going to be there when I sign off, Edner. So I may not be able to see your email address anymore once I shut down. Okay. If anybody else doesn't have any questions, I'm going to go grab a beer. I haven't had a beer in a long time. I deserve it. All right. Anyway. Wow, there's 7 of you all here now. It's so strange. All right. Well, this is also being broadcast over at YouTube. I did a double feed. I figured out a way to cheat. Well, thank you, Hector. I'm glad it wasn't boring. Well, for some of us, it's not going to be boring. I agree. But for the rest of us, yeah, this is really absolutely boring. Boring as hell. But anyway, the excitement I have is the journey of getting from point A to point B. Okay, well that's it, guys. Are there any ladies there tonight? I know we have one lady in the group. The clock ticks backwards a bit. I'm checking. I wonder if that's some kind of weird distortion of time because of the live transmission. Oh yeah, I see it too. Yeah, the hand does go backwards. The second hand does go backwards a little bit, doesn't it? Huh. All right. The next time I broadcast, I hopefully at that point will actually have something more to go on, and I'll have the wheel all the way put together, and we'll go at it from there. I want you all to remember that any time this channel may be gone. Okay. I also found out that there's something bigger going on that YouTube and Facebook are doing. They're shadow banning everybody now. I mean everybody. It's to make room for advertisements in our news feeds, for paid advertisements. Because when you and I just subscribe to a bunch of channels, it fills up our mailbox or our news feed, and it makes it hard for advertisers to fit in, to squeeze in. So YouTube and Facebook have cut way back 85 to 90%. So, thank you, Hector. You're right. I do feel like I earned a beer. But they're basically cutting back. So when I go online live, you may not get a notice. I have over between two different channels, between Facebook and here, I have I think upwards of 14,000 subscribers, and yet only less than 100. I repeat that, less than 100, more like 30 or 50, ever get a notice from me when I post videos or when I go live, out of some 13,000 people. So the only way is just check back, and you can always watch these at a later date. All right, well, I'm going to take Hector up on that beer. Hector, I'm sorry, I'd give you a beer too, but I can't give you one. A little difficult. Where are you, Hector, in the world? Are you in the United States? Are you here in the States? You don't need to tell me exactly where you are. Are you here in the States? Yeah, I guess Hector's left. All right, everybody. Thank you so kindly for checking out. Oh, there's Hector. All right, USA. Yay, the USA. All right, I'm getting giddy. It's time for me to get giddy out of here. All right, everyone. You all take care, and thank you again. I always get your notices every time, James. Cheers for your videos. Craig Pope. Cool. I know some of you all do. And by the way, there's a setting on YouTube and Facebook. I'm not sure about YouTube, though. Yeah, YouTube as well. There's a setting there that you can tell Facebook and you can tell YouTube you want to be notified of every single post. Now, Facebook only allows you to do that with 15 different channels or pages, whereas YouTube, it seems to be unlimited. So, I don't know. You have to experiment. All right, everyone. Good night, guys. And again, thank you for watching. Take care. I love that thing. Hey, where's the command to stop this? It's not coming up. Oh well, I can't stop the transmission. Let's see what's going on here.